Good morning and welcome to Feed Supervisor. I'm Keith Sather, President of KS Dairy Consulting and the Supervisor System family of products. Today I want to show you, using our new FS Touch system, how to update bunk calls or feedouts in a feedlot pen situation. So I'm going to walk you through how to do those updates, and then we're going to look at what the system looks like as it actually batches the feed. So look forward to showing you. So the FS Touch can be located in the mixer tractor. It can be located in the payloader, or it also can be used as a mobile device as you're walking the pens. So if I'm walking pens and I'm going to change today's feedouts, I would just click the change pen target weight button. I would pick the pen that I'm going to observe. Here on the left, you'll see what I fed yesterday. And over here is my targets for today. This diet is set at 100% of the ration table. So yesterday I fed 2,030 pounds, and I'm projected to feed that again today. But say that this bunk is kind of light and I want to increase, let's say 3%. So now I go to 101, 102, 103. And what you can see is over here, my feedouts are increasing from where they were at 2,030 up to 2,091. Down at the bottom here, you can also see that my target for each animal in this pen is that they eat 30 pounds of as-fed feed or 19 pounds of dry matter. When that looks good, I just hit the save button, and then I can go back and pick, let's say, pen 8 here. Just touch the pen. It brings it up again. And let's say this pen, there's a little extra. There's too much feed left over. And you can see I'm targeting at 29 pounds per head. But I'm going to drop these down 5%. And my target is going to go down. And I'm going to feed the 95% to this pen. So one more. Let's look at pen 7. My target on this one again was 100%, and let's say this pen of steers needs to be increased as well, and I'm going to increase them 5%. So we just increase them up, and I hit save. Pen 6 was good, so we're going to get set up now to go and mix feed. As I'm walking bunks, my job's done. I hit closed. Now everything within the system for our mixer, for the home office, if we're on Wi-Fi, everything is now set up to feed these steers today. So we've adjusted our feedouts for each pen, and now we're ready to mix feed. And I've got this system set up for a task scheduled feeder. Basically, you as the manager can set up how you want the order that you want the pens fed, and we can just let the feeder do his job and not have to decide orders or what he's going to do next. So I'm going to hit the next scheduled task button, and you can see on here that I'm supposed to go and push up feed in each pen. So the feeder then hits select, goes and push this up the feed for pen 4, and when he's completed, he just hits that he's done. And then on to the next pen. Down the line. Pushing up feed. This type of system can be used for anything on the operation. You can put messages in here for your feeder to do maintenance on the mixer before he starts. You could have him cut back plastic on a bunker silo. Whatever tasks you need done before they start feeding or during feeding can be put into this here segment. So the next item on our list of things to do is to actually feed the steers. And we have on our label feeding batch beef, just what we called it here. So that's what we're going to do next. And we're set up here in simulation mode. So what it's showing, it's gone into the mode that I'm actually out there on the payloader now, dumping feed into the mixer. So in this scenario, I ended up on this feed 50 pounds light, but I'm clicking my clicker so that I go on to the next ingredient. That one I hit right on. Now I'm putting in grass silage. We're loading, counting down to 0. Now I'm going on and entering in loading in my distiller's grain. So once I'm done mixing the batch of feed, you can see that the scale now goes to hold, and it's just holding our weight as we drive around to make it on our way to pen 4. The other option that you could do here, rather than just having it say hold, would be to have a set time that you want your mixer to run. And if just say it was after the last ingredient went in, you want it to mix for 3 minutes, it would count down from 3 minutes to 0. So once I'm over to my site, I'm going to take off my hold button and start unloading to pen 4. And once I've made it through that, I've counted it down to 0. Now I'm going to start unloading to pen 6. And you can set the order of feed outs, however, whatever order you want your feeder to operate with. On to pen 7, dropping their feed. You can notice at the bottom right hand corner here, you can see what's left in the mixer. And you can see over here that pen 8 is supposed to have 937 pounds, but because I made some errors, I actually have more weight in the mixer than what they're calling for. So I've fed out that pen, and I am done, and I can return and start to mix my next batch of feed. So this is the scenario of mixing that I was showing in that simulation. The FS Touch is going to be in the tractor cab. So when you're starting a batch of feed, you'll go in there and set up that I want to mix, in our case, the beef ration and the pens that you're going to feed it to. We just ran through a scenario where we had it in basically a mode where we are going to tell the feeder what to do. All he does is hit the next button. The remote display or scale is going to be on the side of the mixer. So once the batch is set up, the person's going to get into the loading device, start dumping feed into the mixer, and as you noticed, when we start dumping feed in, the scale goes from flashing the name of the ingredient and the weight to solid weight, and it counts down to 0. When the feeder reaches 0, there's a clicker inside the loader that he clicks, and then we go on to the next ingredient. It is possible to set this system up into auto advance, but in our situation, we feel that accuracy is a lot greater if you load to your desired level and then hit the clicker. Once you hit the clicker, the scale advances to the next ingredient and you start to dump that into the mixer. When you go for feed outs, then you're back and looking at the FS Touch that is in your tractor as you drive along to reach maximum efficiency when you're unloading feed to a pen of steers. Thank you for your time watching Feed Supervisor and how we feed a pen of steers, how we change bunk calls. If you got any questions, please let me know, and we look forward to working with all of you in the future.